All right, we have Notre Dame's media availability. We have head coach Jarrett and David Lamana. Coach Jarrett, why don't you go ahead and start off with some comments really on your season up to this point and what you guys are looking to get done here in Statesboro.
Well, there's one thing we're looking to get done here. Obviously, that's try to compete with these 3 championship-level teams. Everybody in this tournament, all 64 teams, have found a way to do something special throughout the course of either the long season or a very difficult conference tournament, and these teams are no exception to that. All 4 are unique, all 4 are good, all 4 are competitive, well-coached, and talented. So that's what you're running into, and to be playing baseball this weekend, you have clearly separated yourself in some form or fashion, either in a tournament setting or the long haul of an entire season to position yourself here. I'm proud of our team on the field. When you start the season, you try to compete in your conference. I think that's the most important thing when the season engages, and I felt like from the first pitch to the end, our guys did that. To have the most wins in our division in an aggregate setting was exceptional on their part. I couldn't be more proud of their academics to set academic records for the program, essentially each semester up in the ante on what they've been able to do. They've answered in every phase of what we asked them to do at Notre Dame. They're exceptional leaders on campus and in the community. I couldn't be more proud about it. I'm happy we're in this. I've been to Georgia Southern a bunch. My wife's father went to Georgia Southern. They were in the SoCon when I started coaching at Greensboro. I've been here, played here when I was at East Carolina. I know it. The fans are great. It's a great surface. I know they redid the field. Phenomenal. Good setting. Good weather. Hopefully the thunderstorms in the afternoon don't affect us. We're excited. There are 250 plus teams that are hurting today. My son was on one. Those are tough decisions that unfold on that Monday. I'm very thankful that we're playing, and our guys are excited to be here. We're ready to go. We had a good workout. Hopefully everybody continues to improve health-wise, and we'll give it our best shot.
Let's open it up for questions. Jake.
Coach Jake Ross from WTSC in Savannah. How do you feel like your team has responded since Sunday night, Monday? Obviously, you guys were in contention for a regional host.
Yeah.
That can be a disappointing decision. How do you feel like the team has kind of rallied since then, getting to this weekend? How do you feel like they are morale-wise?
These guys are tough, and I noticed that last year when we went through the grind of essentially playing an entire schedule of ACC teams with skipping one team. We didn't play Miami last year. So the demands that are on these guys with our travel, you've obviously seen the schedule of where we have to go to play, and we're usually on the road 5 or 6 weeks straight to start the season. These guys are resilient and tough, and I didn't see any concern with where we were going. You know, you are disappointed. Everybody that's not hosting is disappointed that thinks they deserve it because it's a reward that you feel like they have earned through their play throughout the long haul. Obviously, the metrics didn't weigh out in our favor. It is what it is. But when we walked out of there Monday, I just wanted them to know how proud we were of their performance on the field. We left some things up for debate in some games that I'm sure we could have won. There were probably games that we won that there's no way you thought we would have won. So maybe it evens out. Here we are. We have an opportunity to continue to play, and that's what matters the most to them. That's what I wanted them to understand. These guys are fine. Now you just have to go out on the field and play and perform. So all that stuff, I don't think it has anything to do with what happens in this tournament. How you pitch, how you defend, the execution of your offense, and the timeliness of the offense, that's what decides what's going to happen on the field.
David, Coach has been here a couple times. What were just kind of your first impressions? Field, how it's going to play, just from your first time seeing it, what do you think?
Oh, I think the facilities are great. I was happy to get out there and kind of get my bearings a little bit, see how the ball plays in the infield and off the wall. I really think it's going to be a good time, and I think that the stadium's going to bring a lot of energy, and we're ready for it.
David, talk about the mentality from the team aspect of your guys coming into this regional.
Yeah, like Coach said, I mean, we were disappointed that we weren't able to host in South Bend, but that's really out of our control. So we were excited to get out here and get down here and really compete. And I think we're going to be relentless, and we're confident coming into this.
Coach, the matchup with Texas Tech, how much you know about them? What do you expect?
Talented, aggressive. They play with a lot of confidence. You know, they have some power arms on the front end. I don't know if we're seeing Morris. It's good stuff. You know, they have a mix of returners that obviously experienced playing in a super regional last year, and they have some talented new players. Tim does a great job with his program. He has done that for a number of years. I've known him since he was at Oklahoma as an assistant with one of my good friends, Mike Bell. There are a lot of days on the road recruiting and talking baseball with Tim. His guys are athletic. You know, their left-handed hitter, Jung, is a tough out. They have numerous others. He's separated himself in his production, been really good. They have a versatile offense. You know, sometimes they run more than maybe they have this year. This year, their power numbers and their slugging percentage stands out. They're a complete team. They wouldn't be in the position they're in if they weren't capable of winning and, quite frankly, winning a national championship. So well-coached, experienced, good, talented. And the power arms stand out. You know, John Michael Bertrand's going to have to go out there and pitch. Dave's going to have to navigate him and keep him in line with what he's doing with pitch execution because of the way their hitters attack. He's going to have his pitches all working and in play, his secondary pitches, his fastball command. You guys have seen him pitch. Now he's just got to go duplicate one of his better performances to hold this Texas Tech team in check. They're talented, very good, well coached.
You guys have, you talk about power arms, you got a lot of pitching depth on your team.
Yeah.
Very good ERA, one of the tops in the nation. How much is that pitching something that you feel like you can rely on in this regional? Because you know how important it could be. You might end up playing for that.
Oh, yeah. Pitching depth and the variety that you have in the depth of the pitching is one of the biggest ingredients to successful teams. The ability to punch people out at critical times in the postseason might be the biggest metric if you look at who advances and wins national championships. It's the ability to punch people out. I think the athleticism of our defense has been something that has stood out to me all year. Pretty good range in the outfield and the infield. Now, we haven't been perfect, but the athleticism helps support the pitching. So some of those balls that may look like they're going to get into a gap, if you have an outfielder that converges and makes a tough play, those things snuff out kind of the momentum of the other team, and sometimes it gets you off the field in a mindset that almost feels like you scored on the field and you come in. And we've seen our offense take shape in some capacity due to the ability of our pitching and our defense. So the pitching is so important. How we use the bullpen guys, I can't tell you. You know, Chuck and myself feel our way through the game and what it looks like and what it looks like their hitters are on, what it looks like their hitters may not be on quite as much, and then we try to use our bullpen based on that. That's critical. And as coaches within the game, like trying to make a pitching change to give those guys the best chance to get out of a jam or to start a clean inning and extend in what turns into a second start in a game, that's essential this time of year if you're going to utilize the staff properly.
David, what's it like for
Jay.
you?
Coach, you mentioned a little bit your personal connection here to Statesboro and obviously the UNCG connection for you, just kind of looking at this regional, what does it feel like personally kind of looking at your career and now being here in this position?
We came here when I was at East Carolina, and that team, I think it was 09, and phenomenal team. We played the University of Indiana on this field. Indiana had a right-handed pitcher that went out. I think he threw 130 pitches. It was phenomenal. I think he pitched in the big leagues. I can't remember the scores of the games. I can't remember what happened when we played Georgia Southern.
14-4.
It was 14-4? Okay, I couldn't tell you. I just remember there were some fans up there that made this really exciting. I'm assuming they probably bought tickets to sit behind that dugout. Those guys, maybe the same guys. I remember that. I do remember that pitcher from Indiana and how well he pitched against us. When I came back as a head coach at Greensboro, our program was trying to take shape. And I looked at Rodney and his program, and I said, I want our program to get to the point where we're functioning consistently like they were and like they still are. So the first one was just such a competitive mindset. And our 09 team at East Carolina lost in the Super Regional. I thought it was one of the best teams that I had the pleasure of coaching and recruiting. And then the second time I was a new head coach. And I talked to Kim Record the other day, who was the athletic director. When you're an assistant coach, somebody has to give you an opportunity to learn how to be a head coach. And she did that. And she hired some really good assistant coaches that worked their way into being very successful head coaches. And I told her I was thankful for that opportunity. And my experience here playing was one of those moments where I looked across the field and I said, if I could run it like that one day and be that consistent and how Rodney's done it, I'll take it. So I tried to learn, kind of watch what they did and how they did it. And now we're back. And, now you're in a situation again. It was like the first go around, we got to figure out a way to beat good teams. And that feeling never really escapes you this time of year. But it has been an interesting ride, and we've circled back to Statesboro. Yeah.
David, I was going to say, being your Notre Dame, you got national recognition. You're going to get fans wherever you go. Are you expecting to have a pretty good crowd out there? And how much do you guys feed off something like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're definitely expecting to see some green and some gold up in the stands, and it's definitely helpful when you see, some hometown people out in the crowd and cheering you on, especially in such a volatile atmosphere. So I think that it'll definitely help us, and it'll be exciting.
Well, you're playing Texas Tech. There'll be a lot of Georgia Southern fans there. How you get them to come your way and kind of like, hey, throw us a little love over here?
Last year we played at Mississippi State, and we were getting yelled at from the second we walked in there. So I think our guys are used to it. I think we feed off of it a little bit, and I think that it really won't do any harm to us. More help us, if anything.
Literally feed off it. Didn't they give you barbecue over
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so we were feeding off of them, right?
Yes, sir.
Where was our barbecue last night? Was that?
Sean never told us where it was.
I don't know.
It was a local barbecue.
Yeah, it was good.
Right by the hotel. We'll have to figure it out. So we're supporting the local. We always try to do as much as we can local with our catering. Was it Shook? No, I'm not even sure.
Uncle Shucks.
I don't know. Really good. So we need some support. We're trying our best to support. Come support us.
Josh, you good? All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you all very much. Dave, the bus was waiting for you, so Dave stopped right on.
Link, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Chad Jackson. I'm the assistant SID here.
All right, Chad.
I was a student of Florida.
Oh, you were?
So I saw not only Rodney play collegiately, I saw you play
Oh,
collegiately
man.
at McKeithen. So
I'm sorry you had to watch that.
those were some great midweek games, though. I still remember.
It took me a while to put it on mic line on put it on mic. Put it on mic.